Guys, so I have been meaning to do this video for a while. A few years ago I joined the Army and I was looking at the 18 X-ray contract. I ended up accepting an 18 X-ray contract to enlist in the Army, and during that time I was trying to find as much information as I could about what the 18 X-ray pipeline looked like, and I had a very hard time doing that. There just wasn't very much information, and the information out there didn't seem very reliable or wasn't very descriptive. So I had to do a lot of figuring stuff out my own and learning things the hard way. So I just want you to be better informed. If you are interested in accepting an 18 X-ray contract, which is a Special Forces candidate contract, you need to know a few things. First off, even though you will be going through infantry OSUT, so that's basic training and infantry AIT at Fort Benning, Georgia, by Army standards, you will not necessarily be considered an infantryman. You will be an 18 X-ray candidate. What that means is, if you wash out of the pipeline at any point, the Army has the ability to reclass you to anything they need. That's a big deal because they usually need things that nobody else wants to be. So whether it's a cook, I got a lot of buddies who are cooks right now, and they are not too happy with that because they wash out of the 18 X-ray pipeline, and now the Army reclassed them as a cook. Not that there's anything wrong with being a cook in the Army, but if that's not what you wanted to do, it can be a real kick in the pants if that's now your new career. I do know that this is something they've gone back and forth on. So sometimes they'll reclass you to infantry, and then a few years later they'll start reclassing you to whatever needs of the Army are. It just so happened when I went through, they were reclassing people to needs of the Army, and recently, I went through in 2017 to selection, and I heard 2018 they started reclassing people to 11 Bravo, which is an infantryman. So I would do your research, but understand, even if they are reclassing people to 11 Bravo right now, that's something that could change while you're in training. So it is, just understand, it's part of your contract that you're taking risk. The second thing, I knew this, but I think some people didn't necessarily know, is I was kind of going back and forth between going 18 X-ray and just trying to be an 11 Bravo. Something important to understand is 11 Bravo is not something that you can actually just class into when you join the Army. You actually join as an 11 X-ray, and you get picked either 11 Bravo or 11 Charlie. 11 Charlie being a mortarman. So if you really want to, hold a gun and shoot people, being a mortarman is not your cup of tea. Just understand that there's a little risk involved there too. The Army can either make you a Bravo, a rifleman, or a Charlie, which is a mortarman. If you do choose to be an 18 X-ray, though, sorry, going off on a tangent about 11 series, we're talking about 18 series here. An 18 X-ray, if you make it through, so you're going to start out with infantry OSUT. You're going to go through that whole program. I believe now they've made it a longer AIT, which is like, the whole thing's like 20 some weeks, which is kind of long, but it was definitely, I think it was like 12 to 14 weeks, something like that when I went through. Then you'll go to airborne school. It's a 3-week school. It's breath of fresh air after basic. You have weekends off, and you have your phones in the evenings, and that's not too bad. I hate heights, so it was a challenge for me, but it was good. It was a lot of fun. You spend 2 weeks learning how to land on the ground, and then the final week you actually jump out of airplanes and do it. And a lot of people try for a long time in their military career just to go to that school. So it's a really neat opportunity to be able to do that. Then after that, all this is done at Fort Benning, Georgia. You will then take a bus to Fort Bragg, North Carolina. Once you get to Fort Bragg, North Carolina, they were shaving our heads, had us shave our heads and all that. I don't know if they still do that. You will go to get prepped to go to SOP-C. It's a special operations prep course or something like that. But basically it's preparing you to go to selection. It physically prepares you. They prepare you through land navigation training. It's a fantastic course. You will learn a lot. You'll be pushed physically. It really sets you up well for selection. And once you come back from that 3-week course, you will get 5 days of rest and head straight to selection. And selection is crazy. I don't know, it's a whole video in of itself. So I didn't want this to be too long, but I just wanted to give just some basic information on what an 18 X-ray pipeline could be once you get through. If you get lucky enough to get selected at the end of selection, you do the long walk at the end, and they select you. Then you will be given a language. You'll be given an MOS. You can put down requests, what stuff you would like. So there's 18 Deltas, medic, 18 Bravos, weapons sergeant, 18 Charlies, engineer. I know they work a lot with construction. And 18 Echo, which is what I was interested in, is communications, radios, that sort of thing. So the things you do in Special Forces can vary, but it's probably another video for another time. But I hope that answered any questions you have as you look at following the 18 X-ray pipeline. If you have any additional questions, please comment below. Thank you.